When you think of the most overpowered gun inside a Counter-Strike Global Offensive, there should be only one gun that comes to your mind. This is the AWP, or the AWP, and this gun is absolutely broken. Today, I'm going to teach you how to use the AWP, when you should be buying it, and just how you can find the most success using the most overpowered gun in the game. Before we get into this video, guys, I have done videos on how to use the Deagle, how to use the Tech 9. You should check those out before watching this video so that you can learn how to use all these different guns, and let me know in the comments which weapon you want me to cover next. But make sure to hit that subscribe button and like this video, guys, as well. I look forward to all of your feedback and criticism, so let's get right into it. So why is the AWP so overpowered? Now, for those of you new to Counter-Strike, I'm going to explain it to you. This gun is just overpowered. It's one-shottable, right? So that means if you shoot the other player with just one bullet, they're dead, right? So what does this mean? This means that we can post on angles and wait for people to peek into us, and they're instantly dead. Versus if you're using other guns, you know, you're gonna have to hit them multiple times to kill them, right? You're gonna have to rely on the headshots. But with the AWP, you don't need to use the headshots at all. You can aim for the body and it's gonna instantly take them out of the round. This gun is by far the best weapon in the game, and some of the best players in the world have used the AWP. You know, there's been countless impossible moments pulled off because this gun is just insane. If you are a high skilled player, if you have raw skill and mechanics, being an AWPer is going to be probably your best bet. Being an AWPer is going to be the most rewarding for you because of how good this gun is. So the only thing about the AWP, guys, is it is very expensive, right? This gun is $4,750. Because of how good it is, it needs to be expensive so that it is, you know, it's more balanced, right? It's not just super overpowered and, you know, anyone can just buy it. So when using the AWP, it's very important that you realize how valuable your own life is, because you have this best gun in the game, right? So that means you cannot play like a rifler, guys. When you have the AWP, you need to play differently. You need to play as an AWPer, which, you know, is why it's called that. So that means when you're using this, you should be going around and going for picks, right? So early round, we go for a pick, right? We fall off and we repost on an angle, right? We get a shot, we post on a different angle, right? We keep doing this and being really annoying, right? As an AWPer, it's important that you're constantly rotating around the map. You're being unpredictable, but be careful, guys. Make sure that you're always repositioning and trying your best to, you know, peek in different positions, right? A lot of AWPers, they get into the habit of getting one kill and then re-peeking right back into the same spot, or they miss the shot and their ego tells them peek. So they miss the shot, and then the rifler is already posted here and he deletes them before they even get a chance to, you know, shoot. So just keep in mind that when you're AWPing, it's so important to, you know, manage your ego and make sure, you know, you get a shot, fall back, do your thing, and it's just so effective. Now, why this gun is so good as well is you don't even have to use the scope, guys. You don't even have to use the scope. It is so accurate to no scope with the AWP at close range that if you're in a sticky situation and people are running at you, you can literally just no scope them, and you can rely on that very well, right? So if people are running, you know, you can sit here and no scope and do all that, and you'll see a lot of AWPers do that. Now, don't rely on no scopes at all. If you're no scoping, that means you're in a situation that you don't want to be in, because you want to be able to control, right? You want to be able to control and lock down these parts of the map. And if you're no scoping, that means it's kind of compromised, but you can rely on them, right? So if you've played other games too, you may be familiar with quick scoping too. That's a thing as well. It's a little harder because it could be a little more accurate in Counter-Strike, right? If you shoot too fast. So, you know, it's not as much of a thing to quick scope in this game, but, you know, there's a time and place for it. So, you know, just make sure you understand that most of your effectiveness with the AWP is going to come from posting on angles and locking down parts of the map. So on overpass here, that means I can play a position like this, and I have this line of sight, right? I have this line of sight that goes all the way through here, and I know that no one can cross this and like come from behind as long as I'm posted on that. So you should be locking down one part of the map and your teammates can worry about the other. That could be locking down long side here, you know, doing this while they hold bathrooms. Just lock down a part of the map and understand your value as an AWPer and how effective that can be, right? So with the AWP, guys, it's just very important that you are, one, you're super active, you're super mobile around, and you obviously, like I said, you understand the value of your life, because I told you how expensive this gun is. That means if you're dying with the op, even if your team wins the round, if they are not able to recover this gun from the ground, and by the way guys, when you see an op on the ground and your team does not have one, you should do every single thing you can to pick up the op, right? So anytime this op is on the floor, pick it up if your team needs it. And you know, you should only be using 1 or 2 ops on every team, no more than that. You know, it's a very overpowered gun, but we'll get to the drawbacks in a second. But yeah, you need to make sure you're managing your economy, because that is a huge drawback, is how expensive it is. And if you're constantly just running around and throwing your life away and your team can't recover the op, then this overpowered gun doesn't matter, because you can't buy it the next round. Then you're facing the other team who might have an op, and now you have to rifle against them. So just keep that in mind of how important your life is when opping. Now let's talk about the downsides to the most overpowered, the most iconic gun in the game. The downsides to the op is it's a double-edged sword, right? The one-shot ability can also come back to hurt you so bad, because obviously when you're using a rifle in the game, you can sit here and spray, right? So if you miss your shots, you can it's no problem. You have 25-30 bullets depending on what gun you're using, no problem. You can keep shooting, and you know, you don't have to be as accurate, right? You don't have to hit that one shot. With the op, if they are swinging you at an angle and you completely miss, right, you might be dead, right? You only get that one shot, you can't continue spraying. It's that one all or nothing shot. So that can come back to actually bite you, and it's come back to bite me a lot. Is, you know, high pressure situations, they're running at you, I'm like, man, I almost wish I just had a rifle, because trying to hit people, you know, running at me and doing this thing is just so hard. And that's another downside, guys, is when people are running around and jumping and flying through the air and stuff, it can be challenging at times to make sure you actually hit them. And why is this? Because the op also does not one-shot when you shoot people in the legs. This is one of the drawbacks to the gun that makes it way more balanced. And you know, there's times where that's really going to come back to hurt you, because someone might peek into you, and because you only get one shot, you hit them. Like, you did your job, you hit them, but it was in the leg, so it doesn't even matter, right? It doesn't matter that you hit them, because they're still alive and then they kill you. So that's why you'll see a lot of people, when they think an opera is posted on something, they'll jump, right? They'll jump hoping that the scope, you know, the opera is scoped up and he hits their leg. So they jump con, that they hope that you know, this bullet either misses them or it hits them in the leg, so that they can bait that shot out, and maybe a teammate can swing behind it, or they can just get the frag. So just keep in mind that it's very, you know, it's very all or nothing with the op, and it can really come back to bite you when you have it. So yeah, I mean, because of the fact that there is some downsides to the op, that is why you should only have 1 or 2 on your team at all times, because it's just gonna destroy your economy if you try to have more than that many ops. And it's also just gonna make it really hard, because lastly, the worst part about opping sometimes is retaking. So when the T side is the bomb planted and you're trying to retake, sometimes it can be so hard to get into the site and run in with the op, because you have to just run in here and be really quick and be fast. And it almost always benefits you to have a rifle over an op when you're in a retake, unless you can just post on an angle and be patient and wait. But there's situations where that's not able to. So on retakes, the op is very weak when you're the one trying to get in there, right? When you're on the CT side trying to push into sight, because you can't really lock down angles as effectively. There's a time and place for it, but a lot of operators hate retakes with that, and you'll even see them just pick up a rifle, because it's a lot easier to use in these situations. But yeah, guys, I have videos on my channel talking about opping. You should go check those out. I'll link them up here for you to watch if you want a more in-depth guide on how to op. But this is the basics and what you need to do in order to learn how to use this cannon, this insane weapon. So you guys keep grinding. Have a great day. I'm trying to do my best to post daily content for you guys, and we're going to keep pushing till we get 6,000 subscribers and even more. We're never going to stop. So you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you all later. Peace out. See ya.